In this lecture, you learn how to use functions like the row number function, rank, and dense rank. The row number, as the name suggests, is used to assign numbers to records in a window. So here we have a simple query that displays the employee business entity, login, job title, and vacation hours. Now let's execute this query and we'll get the result set. We can now use the row number function to assign a number to each row. So let's add the row number. Now we need to have the over clause, right? So I'm going to say has row count, right? Now, unlike when we were using the aggregate function, we use the over clause without specifying a parameter. However, in this case, if we do execute it, then it's going to fail because the row number must have an order by within the over clause, right? So now I need to specify a column which I need to use to order the result set. So let's say order by, and then specify the column that we want to use to order the data set. So I'm going to say login ID. Now let's execute this, and the row count was added. Now let's say we want to rank each employee by their vacation hours by the department which they are in. What we can do is utilize a rank function. So let's copy this query. Now let's paste. So instead of using the row number, we're going to be using the rank function, right? So specify the rank, and we need to be partitioning by, the department table. So instead of order, we're going to have partition. So the partition is like breaking up the data. So we're going to partition by the job title, not the department like I mentioned earlier, the job title, right? And then we're going to order by vacation hours, and we're going to call this column rank. Now let's execute this statement. So I have a typo here, so it should be vacation hours, not V. Let's execute again. So if you observe, the data set is ranking the employees by their job title and then by their vacation hours. So in the account department, Barbara has the most vacation hours with 58 and has a rank of 1. Now what the rank function does is that it allows you to rank observation in a window with gaps, meaning that if there are ties within the data set that you are ranking, then you'll see a gap in the data. So far, we don't have any gap in the data, so I'm going to demonstrate that, show you using the job title, account receivable specialist, right? So if you look carefully, you'll realize that we have 3 account receivable specialists, all having a vacation hours of 60, 61, and 62 respectively. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be updating one of these records so there's a tie in the data so you can see what the rank does. So I'm going to write an update statement, update human resource employee, set vacation hours equal 60, where login ID is equal to, copy and paste, Deborah 0. So I'm going to change it from 60 to 61. Now let's execute this statement. Now let's run the rank statement again. Now if you observe the data carefully now, you'll see that when we have a tie, it skips rank number 2 and then jump to number 3. So this is where dense rank come in handy. Dense rank solve this problem. So let's copy and paste this statement. Now when we use the dense rank function, DENSE underscore, you'd see that it solves this problem, right? So let's execute. So when there's a tie, instead of having a gap in the data, then it goes to the next rank. So remember, if we execute the first statement again and look, execute, you'll see that in the account receivable specialist, when there was a tie, it just jumped to number 3. Now in the dense rank, it stayed at number 2. Now let's say you are supposed to find the employee for each job title that has the highest vacation hours. How will you go about that? Now the first thing you may be thinking is to write a where clause here, right? And then say rank equal to 1. But this will not work. But remember from previous lectures, you learned about CTE that you can use as name result. So we can now convert this result set to a CTE. So first we specify the width, and then we have a name for the CTE. It can name anything. Remember, the columns are optional. right? So I'm going to say has, and then now I need to define my query for the CTE. So now I'm just going to paste the query from above. Now let's get rid of the where clause. Now we can do a query on the result set of the CTE. So I'm going to say asterisk from CTE where rank equal 1. Now let's execute. And as you can see, from the result set, we have only the job titles with the rank equal 1. In the next lecture, we'll be taking a look at functions such as lead and lag.